Students, welcome back. Now we are going to see some notable features regarding the superior mediastinum. So this is the superior mediastinum. So this is the vertebra, isn't it? So a layer which is present in front of this vertebra is called as prevertebral, isn't it? So and any layer which is present behind this is called as postvertebral. Okay, the prevertebral layer of the deep cervical fascia. So above this thing will have this cervical region, isn't it? So in front of this cervical vertebrae will have this deep cervical fascia. So the prevertebral layer of the deep cervical fascia extends to the superior mediastinum. So the deep cervical fascia is extending to the superior mediastinum up to the T4 level. So this is also prevertebral layer. Okay. So because of this prevertebral layer of the deep cervical fascia, which extends in front of this thoracic vertebrae of the superior mediastinum, any infection present behind the neck. So any infection present behind the neck, this fascia can pass down into the superior mediastinum but not lower than this. So some neck infections, neck infections which is present behind the neck. So behind this fascia. So any neck infections which is present behind this fascia can pass down into the superior mediastinum but not lower down. That means that infection cannot spread below this level. This is one of the notable features. So again, the prevertebral layer of the deep cervical fascia extends to the superior mediastinum and it is attached to the T4 vertebra, thoracic vertebrae. So an infection present in the neck behind this deep cervical fascia can also passes down to the superior mediastinum but not below this superior mediastinum because this cervical fascia is attached to the T4. So at this level only the infection can spread. Okay. Next, another notable feature is the pretracheal fascia. So as we know that here in front of this trachea you'll have this esophagus and then trachea is present, isn't it? So this trachea is also having a fascia in front, that is the pretracheal fascia. Pretracheal fascia. The fascia which is present in front of the trachea is called pretracheal fascia of the neck. Also extends to the superior mediastinum, isn't it? So the trachea is entering into the inlet, isn't it? So inlet, that is, it is present in the superior mediastinum at this level. The pretracheal fascia of the neck, that means the fascia which is present in front of the trachea, which is also extends to the superior mediastinum. Wherever up to the level of this trachea, this fascia is also extending. So neck infection in front of this fascia, neck infection in front of this fascia can therefore spread to this mediastinum, that is the superior mediastinum, and also it will spread into the anterior mediastinum. It is also spread to the anterior mediastinum. Okay. So the neck infections in front of this pretracheal fascia can therefore spread to the superior mediastinum as well as the anterior mediastinum. Okay. And this neck infections between the pretracheal and the prevertebral fascia can spread into the superior mediastinum, and through it into the posterior mediastinum. So because of these two infections, only this is an imaginary line, isn't it? So because of this pretracheal infections, which is also spread into the posterior mediastinum. So thus mediastinitis can result from the infections of the neck. So if there is any infections in the neck, may infect to the mediastinum, causes mediastinitis. That is the thing you have to note it. Okay. So the pretracheal fascia. So trachea is almost not still at the posterior. Trachea is almost present at this level. Okay. So the pretracheal, the fascia, so may spread into this anterior mediastinum as well as, and the infections in the superior mediastinum may spread to the posterior mediastinum. So finally it causes mediastinitis due to the infections of neck. Okay. And there is a very loose connective tissue present between these mobile organs of the mediastinum. Therefore, the space can readily be dilated by inflammatory fluids and neoplasms. So because any infections or any malignant tumors can easily lodge into these spaces. So వీటికన్నిటికి ఏమవుతుంది, all these things, this inflammatory fluids and neoplasm will get some spaces inside this mediastinum. So in the superior mediastinum, I have already explained that all large veins are on the right side and the arteries on the left side. So during this increased blood flow, veins expand enormously while the large arteries do not expand. So on the right side of the superior mediastinum, you'll have more dead space. So, and that dead space is very much used by these tumors and these fluids or present on those dead spaces. So in the mediastinitis, most of the tumors and the inflammatory fluids are lodging on the right side of the superior mediastinum. So these are the notable features of the superior mediastinum. Thank you. In the next session, we are going to see the anterior mediastinum. Thank you.